all of the palliatives that we're agreeing to. But if you are saying that you are going to shut the nation down because the money that you know is not available is not going to be put on the table in front of you, knowing that it's not available, then we are going to look you in the eye and tell you that we're going to take you to court and test that before a judge.
Meanwhile, political analyst Sam Amadi says the one-day nationwide protest by organized labor created some impact on the polity. Dr. Amadi, who is the director of the Abuja School of Social and Political Thoughts, told correspondent Soibi Ruwari that the fact that President Bola Tinubu showed some commitment to the demands of labor speaks volumes about the protest, where he urged labor union leaders to hold the president to his words.
President himself, not by delegate, not by blocs, invited the discussion and committed, making sure that the refinery is on board by December and agreeing to restructure the negotiation in line with NLC's demand. So that was a very, very successful protest. One day they protested. Labour has not cancelled protest. They have suspended. There's no progress. The Labour may return back to protest. I said the president himself responded immediately to their request. That shows it is successful.
In a related development, the National Association of Resident Doctors, NARD, says doctors should not be blamed for any likely escalation of their ongoing nationwide strike. It comes after the Federal Ministry of Health issued a circular threatening to implement the no work, no pay policy on striking resident doctors. Well, President of NARD, Emeka Orji, while reacting to the circular, said it is unfortunate that the Ministry of Health has been shifting blame and keep saying they do not have a minister yet, which is why they cannot handle such issues. And in another development, NNPC's private security contractor, Tanita Security Services, say they caught another vessel with stolen crude oil in Koko area of Delta State. The vessel, said to be carrying about 8,000 barrels of crude, was being escorted by some naval officers. Well, as you may know, Tanita Security Outfit is a private security company owned by government Ekpemu Polo, popularly called Tom Polo, a former Niger Delta agitator who recently got a contract from the federal government to protect oil pipelines. Well, operatives of the Tanita Security say the vessel tagged MT Prazel was flying a Togolese flag and was being escorted by a Navy boat led by a senior naval commander. Well, upon entrance into the ship, the security company says they noticed that the vessel was authorized to carry products by the Navy but did not have any approvals from the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, the authority responsible for the regulation of midstream and downstream petroleum operations in Nigeria. But Navy, in a statement today by its Director of Information, Commodore Ayo Vo, denied reports that the vessel was acting without authorization. Well, the statement said MT Prazel was duly approved by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, NDPRA, to load over 1 million liters of high power fuel oil at the Taros Jetty Coco from 26th July to the 8th of August. It said the Navy was then deployed on board to monitor the discharge of the product by the vessel at a facility in Bonny. In other news now, a staff of Eko Hotel, Ngozi Mary Kekwaru, who returned $70,000 that she picked at the hotel to the hotel management, says she returned the money based on her standards and her religious belief and her upbringing. Ms. Ngozi, who spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire today, also said it is wrong for a Christian to steal. Now, she advised that good deeds should be appreciated to encourage others, and she says she has no regrets returning the money, as it has also brought her lots of good fortunes.
Like yesterday, my local government, I was honored for giving an ambassadorship position and a building that is ongoing. The chairman, Honorable Chidi Lloyd, actually said when he's done with the building, he's going to name it after me. So I feel so proud that I did the right thing and I allowed my integrity to play out. So there's no regret at all, and this is taking me very far because I am settling and I already know that some international communities are reaching out to me. Some already did to other ones, bigger ones, to reach out to me.
Well, away from that, the Rivers State chapter of the APC has denied a statement faulting the ministerial nomination of the state's immediate past governor, Nyesom Wike. The spokesman of the party in the state, Darlington Nwuju, disclosed this in a statement in Port Harcourt on Thursday, countering the earlier statement in Abuja where the party had conceded that the former governor was in APC to protect his personal interests. But Mr. Nwoju said the earlier statement from Abuja did not emanate from him, adding that he was not aware of it and did not sign it. Accord Party has closed its case at the Rivers State Governorship Election Tribunal after fielding 10 witnesses. The party is challenging the emergence of Siminalayi Fubara as governor in the governorship election. At the resumed hearing, the 10th witness, who is a subpoenaed witness, Moses Salvation, a state collation officer, told the tribunal that different ballot papers were found in some of the local government areas. Still to come, President Tinubu says 2023 election among most credible despite challenges in courts. Stay tuned.
Sarafo. Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling sad? Are you feeling sad?
President Bola Tinubu believes that the 2023 presidential election was one of the most credible in Nigeria's history, despite the legal battles between the APC and opposition parties challenging his victory. President Tinubu made the remarks during the first National Executive Committee of the party in Abuja. Of the APC in Abuja, where the petitions of the PDP, Labour Party and the Allied People's Movement are before the Presidential Election Petitions Tribunal in Abuja, with judgment expected within days. The new APC National Chairman, Abdullahi Ganduje, says he will ensure the party's victory in the 11th November governorship elections in Imo, Kogi and Bayelsa states. He spoke during his acceptance speech as the party's chair after his emergence at the 12th APC National Executive Committee meeting held in Abuja. While the party's NEC also elected former Senate spokesman Ajibola Basiru from Osun State as its national secretary. The NEC meeting was attended by President Bola Tinubu, Vice President Kashim Shettima and members of the Progressive Governors Forum, where President Tinubu spoke at the event.
Prosperity will not forgive us if we fear of that path. We honor their wishes, but we post to victory. It is an honorable thing. Yet, we are facing challenges in court. And I say, this is one of the most free and fair elections in the history of Nigeria.
A former Vice President of Nigeria, Atiku Abubakar, has warned the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, not to travel the road of military hostilities to resolve the leadership crisis in Niger Republic. Mr. Abubakar, in a tweet, faulted the plan, saying using military hostilities may worsen the situation. He said the crisis requires diplomatic engagements, which must mean that the channels for dialogue should be well sustained. Also, the Ariwa Consultative Forum, ACF, is asking the African Union and ECOWAS to dialogue with the military junta as one of the civil measures to restore democratic governance in that country. In a statement issued by its General Secretary, Murtala Aliyu, the ACF says the use of military force against the coup plotters in Niger should not be a prerequisite for Nigeria and the ECOWAS continuing efforts to enthrone democracy in the region in the 21st century. And in business, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has suspended car hire service at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, with immediate effect. Well, FAN spokesperson Abdullahi Yakubu Funtua, in a statement, said it followed the unresolved factional dispute amongst the car hire operators, which he says has been affecting airport car hire service operations. And in entertainment, BB Niger All-Star housemate and winner Pepedem season Mercy AK has claimed her boyfriend promised to give her the grand prize of 120 million naira to prevent her from participating in this year's reality edition. Well, Mercy AK said this to her fellow housemates that her lover was jealous and advised her against taking part in the show. But she said she turned down the offer. And in sports, FIFA is investigating an official complaint that Zambia head coach Bruce Mwape sexually assaulted a player at the Women's World Cup. Mr. Mwape is accused of rubbing his hands over the chest of one of his players during a training session in New Zealand on the 29th of July. But the Football Association of Zambia says it has not received any such complaint and it is a surprise.
And now we bring you news from around the world.
A West African delegation, which was supposed to be mediating in Niger following last week's coup, has left after just a few hours without any sign of progress. The negotiators appointed by the regional body, ECOWAS, did not meet the coup leader or the deposed president, Mohamed Bazoum. Well, ECOWAS has imposed sanctions on Niger and has threatened to use force if Mr. Bazoum is not reinstated. But Mr. Bazoum has warned that the entire Sahel region could fall under Russian influence. Well, that's the news, but before we go, another look at the highlights of the major stories. On the news this afternoon, you heard that the Nigerian Labour Congress has threatened a nationwide strike, and the Navy says a vessel intercepted with stolen crude was approved by the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The Accord Party has closed its case at the River State Governorship Election Tribunal. President Bola Tinubu says that the 2023 election was among the most credible despite challenges in court. And Ariwa Consultative Forum and former Vice President of Nigeria Atiku Abubakar have warned against the use of force in Niger. And on the foreign scene, West Africa delegation, which was supposed to mediate in Niger following the coup there, has left without any sign of progress. The news was edited by Martha Okerenkem. Mostly sunny weather in Port Harcourt this afternoon. Remember, peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I'm Constance Mega. Thank you so much for listening. And do stay tuned. Coming up next is The Sunny Side.